Good morning and welcome. Day 2 of the Allenton Labor Day Invitational for the Golden Wolves. The score is 0-0. Each line's been out for one shift. Shots are 3-0 favoring the Panthers, but gameplay has really been somewhat even. There hasn't been anything. Well, there's a good scoring chance. There hasn't been anything too eventful off the bat. A couple personnel shuffles here. They're trying a different configuration of the same line. It's Nate Kerr on left wing, Bailey Kaiser on the right side, Jack Conley in the middle, taking the draw, face off to the right. Panthers pass the puck. It comes outside the zone. It's going to be Kerr that gets there first. Kerr takes it to the end wall. Kerr over to Kaiser. Kaiser works through. Kaiser out front. They go back to the point. Shot is tipped up over the glass. Shot high from Peyton Nyland. Nate back to the point. This is Reese Noda. Noda to Kerr. Kerr to Conley. Unable to get it on a stick, and out come the Panthers. Panthers had a good 5-1 result yesterday, losing to the Blackhawks. Blackhawks considered to be one of the better teams. As you know if you watched, it was 2 losses for the South Florida Golden Wolves. 3-1 to the Atlanta Fire, 4-0 to the Florida Everblades. Shot from the point, wrister goes in, tipped in, and that is 1-0 Panthers early. Unfortunately for the Golden Wolves, that is the 5th goal given up. 5th goal by Conley, Kerr, and Kaiser, as they've had trouble getting out of their end this weekend. Sayed on left side, Wainman on the right, Kevin Johan in the middle. Johan's a big center. He gets dropped. Panthers with an early 1-0 lead. This is a bit of a rivalry game as the two programs both are based in Broward County, Fort Lauderdale area. Here comes Johan. Johan cuts to his forehand. Can't quite get around the defenseman. Panthers are switching the program's jerseys to the new NHL design. Those are not available yet, so they're wearing a temporary practice jersey to start the season. Their choices this weekend were red and red. Here comes number 4 on the helmet, 16 on the jersey. He works out to the blue line, and it's kept in by Robert Renner. Good day yesterday for him. Sayed in the corner. Can't quite keep control of that. Shot from the point. And it's thrown out to the middle where Lopez intercepts. Lopez keeps that in. He's working along the wall, trying to get it in deep. Panthers with a stretch pass through the stick of number 12. And it's now dumped in by 16, J.C. Smith. Kept in at the point by Renner. Renner with a big shot. Steered aside by the Panthers goalie. Chipped to the wall, and it's kicked in by Smith. Smith to Lopez. Lopez kept it in momentarily, but finally cleared to the blue line and out by the Panthers. They dump it into the end wall, and it's a race there. Renner gets there at the same time, ties it up. Out come Golden Wolves trying to get out left side, unable to break out. The counter back, and it's Chris. Chris goes near, hits the center Lopez. They're back in their own end. It's a D-to-D pass behind the net. Back to Renner. Renner's got some options. He comes out and tries a center breakout, but no one's looking, and it's iced the length of the rink. Face-off comes back to Herlong's left. 8:49 remains. I think yesterday we saw some periods in this division were 14, some periods were 13. Shots on goal, 5-1 Panthers. They lead 1-0. Stalemate face-off, gets on the stick of Conley, tries to push it forward to Kerr, but they're unable to clear. Out come the Golden Wolves. It's going to die in the corner. It's going to be Kaiser that gets there first. Kaiser over to Conley. And there's good pursuit, and it's Kaiser. Kaiser goes back to the defense. Kept in before finally cleared by the Panthers. And now the Panthers are working up wide on Nyland. Nyland forces him to the outside. Peyton Nyland is almost 6 feet tall. 3 on the wall, struggling for it. Finally cleared by the Golden Wolves to the side, and it's Jack Carr. He goes behind the net, tries to ring it to Bailey Kaiser. Kaiser wraps it back. He looks for Carr, but it's the Panthers that get there first. A lot of trouble by this line breaking out all 3 games so far. They've been on the ice for 5 goals against out of 8 given up. Gets off the blue line, and it's chipped out. It's dumped in by the Panthers, and the red goes for the line change. Here comes Nyland. Nyland looks wide, goes up near side. Pass doesn't connect, and the Golden Wolves complete their line change. It's Sayed and Wainman in pursuit. Nice breakout by the Panthers, but the center couldn't keep it on a stick long enough to get out. First try, second time's a charm, and now they're deep down to the end wall. Wainman throws it right to the Panthers' defense as there's no center coming up. Here comes Kevin Johan. He seems to have an extra hop in his step today. He goes in wide, tries to bank it in. He keeps it on his stick, and he goes back to the point to Reese Noda. Noda dumps it in deep, rings behind the net, and it's Wainman in pursuit with Sayed. Kept him at the left point. This is Sayed. Sayed throws it out front to nobody. There seems to be a lack of presence. A lot of throwing the puck away as the Golden Wolves seem impatient under pressure. Out come the Panthers, and it's a pass from number 4 in the helmet to number 4 on the jersey. One of them might be Amir Hussein. Noda tries Lopez near. They try to work it over to George, but it's broken up, and here come the Panthers. Panthers go in with numbers, trying to get pucks to net and use the man advantage. Lopez tries to chip it forward to Christ, unable to, and now they're breaking out, regrouping, and they hit Christ. Christ to George. George streaks into the middle, and he tries to pop it through to Lopez, broken up by the Panthers. Jimmy gets a stick on the puck, keeps it in deep, and now the Panthers are forced to break out. They throw it on the wall to George. George keeps it in, gets it to the end wall. Back to the Panthers. They're now circling behind their own net. Throws it right on the point to Jack Carr. Jack Carr, as we talked about yesterday, a very smart player from the blue line offensively, shoots it just wide. They're working now 2-on-1 on Carr, but overskate the puck. And now they throw it out of the zone. It's going to be George that gets there, same time as what I think is probably Hussein. Big shot right into the breadbasket of Toby Herlong, and it's another line change. 1-0 the score. 5:17 remains first period. Shots on goal 6-1 favoring the Panthers. Conley lines up to Herlong's left, chips it forward, but a little bit too far for the Golden Wolves, and it goes to the point. It's kept in by the Panthers. Bounces around a little bit, gets down to the end wall. Panthers are circling. They work a pass back to the point. It's broken up there by Kaiser. Kaiser leaves it for Kerr. Kerr tries to get wide, but he's got 3 red jerseys on him and manages to push it to the wall. There's only 1 yellow jersey on 2 or 3 Panthers, but they're managing to keep the puck in. It spits out to Conley. Conley on his forehand. He counters back down, throws it, turns it over. Out to the neutral zone, and it's Renner fighting with the Panthers. They go D to D in their own end, and it's Panthers now in retreat as Nate Kerr forechecks. D to D pass behind the net, and now it's Bailey Kaiser in the way. Kept in by Renner, steps in, big shot, and it's... Oh, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. The puck was saved by the goalie, a quick whistle. Drops down into the crease. Renner tipped it in between his legs. The whistle had already blown. It is no goal, but definitely a questionable early whistle there. Faceoff comes to the Panthers left. Score still 1-0. Four minutes, 15 seconds left in that. We'll remember that as a pivotal moment in this game, as the Golden Wolves could have tied.
Come on, Kevin.
Oh, beautiful pass by Johan. Johan over to Sayed, over to Wainman. That's a pretty good 3 touches there down by the dots. Leads to a good scoring chance. They go for a short line change, and now it is Lopez, Christ, and George waved off a little bit late. Personnel stays. Johan chips it forward into the slot, almost on the stick of Sayed, but it's cleared by the Panthers. Fighting along the wall, you'll see there's a little bit of a trouble along the wall today because the ice rolls down into a lip. Thrown out front by Sayed, just cleared by the Panthers, but it was Wainman with a good shot at it. Sayed had a chance to get it to his forehand for a shot on goal. Instead, had the backhand pass, and it wasn't quite strong enough to be on the money. And a crushing hit by Chase Wainman. Crushing hit by Chase Wainman there behind the net. And it's Sayed forechecking. And this is thrown back to the blue line, comes out. Bantam gains, tag up offside. A lot different than the squirting peewees that the kids played when they were younger. Cleared up the middle. Gets out of the blue line, and it's picked up by Lopez or Johan. Johan comes in, snapper into the goal, in the defenseman. Oh, beautiful short pass. Beautiful. Jimmy George buries it on a short pass from Kaiser Sayed with Kevin Johan and another assister. A beautiful goal down low. Ties the game for the Golden Wolves. 1-1's the score. 2:58 remains. Poised down low. Beautiful pass off by Sayed. He could have shot. Understood he had someone in better position. Jimmy goes top shelf, up over the goalie's glove. Oh, it's a great goal, great assist, great play all the way around. And we are now knotted up at 1. New ball game, folks, late first period. Panthers break out. Jimmy's in pursuit. Here comes a beautiful back check by Lopez, or Chris, coming the other way. Chris dumps it in deep, off the glass right in front of us. Kept in at the point by Noda. Noda goes in down to the end wall where it's Chris fighting. We've talked about that lip on the end of the rink, and there's a lot of trouble with pucks bouncing around. Conley in pursuit over there. As part of the line change has happened. Now comes Kaiser, just waiting for Chris to get off for Kerr. It's a snapper down below, cleared by the defenseman behind the net. Conley tries to get it out front for Chris, but it's broken up by the Panthers who go for the line change. They dump it the length of the ice. We're coming back here, folks. 1:56 remains first period. Shots on goal have evened up quite nicely. It's now 7-5. Jack comes over. He's happy for Jimmy. Jimmy lit the lamp. This team has scored 2 goals this year. It's been Conley and George getting on the board. Not sure how Jack wound up out there. It must have been a hurt center. So we've got Wainman, Johan, Sayed, and I think this is Neville Ukmankuk stepping in for the face-off. The Hungarian wonder. All right. We're back in the action here. 1:45 remains in the first period. It's Wainman in pursuit, putting a little pressure, trying to force a bad decision on the part of the Panthers defense. Stays on the stick of number 16 for a long time. He's had the puck quite a bit this game and seems to control traffic whenever he's got it. Panthers regroup, hit the center up the middle. It's a snapper. It looked like it was going to go in from this angle, but it either went wide or was deflected wide by Toby Herlong. All right, it's Kurt Kaiser, Conley. They hit Conley, trying to get over to his forehand. Tries the shot, and he gets it in the upper netting. Jack Conley from Bailey Kaiser makes it 2-1. It's kind of a funny goal the way it went in and came out. It didn't make any noise. but it hit the webbing and came out real quick. It's a very tight webbing here at Ellington Ice and Sportsplex. First lead of the season. It is the South Florida Golden Wolves 2, Florida Panthers 1. 2 top shelf goals. Jimmy George knotted it up. Jack Conley puts him ahead. Beautiful assist by Bailey Kaiser. And they go with some fresh legs. It's now Christ, Lopez, and George. Oh, and it's boards and glass save your ass example right there as they chip it up over the official, get it out to neutral zone. Pressure relieved and forces the Panthers way back into their own end for a breakout. Puck is thrown the length of the ice. Icing call waved off. Jack Carr gets there first, and he rings the boards. A little bit of Ganipkanop here with the puck lobbed back and forth by both teams. Carr runs out the clock, takes it down to the end wall. And it is 2-1 at the end of the first period. South Florida Golden Wolves with their first lead of the season in the third game over the Florida Junior Panthers. And we're traveling. We're traveling down to the other end. It's Ella. Good. That is Scylla Yukman Cook, mother of Hilmar. Hey, look who's here. Real good. Good to see you. Good. Happy New Year.
Same for you.
Yeah, it's another hockey season. So your kids are next?
Yeah.
We're on the same schedule.
Yeah.
We're on the same schedule. Good luck.
3 minutes, guys. At least like 10 million.
And it's Clint Levens. Clint, you want to be interviewed?
No.
Clint, how's your season going so far?
Good.
Clint is a Gulf Coast Flame. This is his home rink. He's here with J. Cataldo. All right, guys, we're back to the action here. Period 2, South Florida Golden Wolves versus the Florida Junior Panthers. Hey, it's Mike Rodriguez. Coach Mike Rodriguez of the Blackhawks. They're a tournament favorite.
What are you doing?
I Ustream the games. There's the father of the crushing Chase Wainman. There's a lot of physical action down there in the corner. 14-minute periods today. Like I said earlier, I think some games were running 13 and some games were running 14 yesterday at the other rink. This one's 14. Period 2. Hope we got a little clean spot in the glass here. Yesterday we had both extremes. The brand new rink that's been open 6 weeks at Clearwater. And then we also had Jack Conley. Oh, he gets it over to Bailey, who goes just over the glass. Good scoring chance there. Penalty for the Panthers for knocking down Nate Kerr. Puck popped out to Conley. He chipped it over to Kaiser. Kaiser tried to go upstairs just a little bit too high. So anyway, as I was saying about yesterday's game, we had both extremes. The games were at Clearwater Ice Arena, and they have the newest facility in the state. The second sheet opened 6 weeks ago, so the glass was pristine. And then the second game was on their original sheet, the South Sheet, which is one of the state's less premier facilities, and the glass is awfully nicked up. So Conley goes back to the point, and it's Renner. Renner looking, he's got Conley in the half wall, chooses to shoot. Big rebound there, and it's Kerr. Kerr back to Conley. Kerr back, Conley back to Renner. Renner with the shot, down in the slot. Kaiser was going for the rebound, but it's cleared aside by the Panthers. Conley on the power play, trying to squeeze it into Kerr, and he decides he's going to relieve pressure, go back to Renner. There's a very tight box here, not a lot of pressure from the Panthers. Pays off as the puck pops out. They're able to clear it the length of the ice. First power play of the game here for either team. They try to break it out to Conley, but I don't think he was ready for it. And almost turns the puck over in their own end on the power play. Renner with the chip pass over to Kaiser. They get this one to Great Nate. Great Nate's got some time, and he chooses to take it along, dump it in, try to set up a little advantage here, force the Panthers to break out. They ring the boards, but it's going to be too far for Kaiser. Leonard didn't know who to pass to, and they managed to get a body on him right in the slot, and the puck never got released. Now here comes Kaiser Sayed. Sayed plays with his head up when he doesn't have anyone around, but has been a little bit fearful of the contact, and since he weighs about 80 pounds, it's not a surprise. He may not even be 80 pounds. Still 30 seconds to go in the power play. This is Peyton Nyland over to Jack Carr. Jack Carr, he goes up the middle, but it's a bad pass, unable to be railed in by Johan. Throwing the length of the ice, and he'll take care of most of it. 15 seconds left in the advantage. Carr comes back, and he hits Sayed. Sayed on his forehand. Gets the puck into the neutral, but skates into a Panther where it's turned over. Chip back to Carr. Carr to Sayed, he throws it in on goal, just wide. Wainman. Oh, there's Wainman. Oh, and it's waffled up over the glass. Over the goal into the glass. Great scoring chance there by Chase Wainman. Wainman seemed to have an extra step right now. Extra jump in his step after he laid that crushing blow in the corner. Took a little bit to get him excited, but that was it. Panthers work a little backhand stuff, and nobody can really get a strong shot off, but they were getting, some nice passes that were connecting down low. Throwing the length of the ice by Johan. It dies in the corner. He gets there first. Johan with that big body, fighting. Keeps it on his stick, and he goes wide. Tries to pull it off the trough. That trough we talked about down in the corner. Gets it over to Bobby Christ. Panthers overskate it, and it's on Christ's stick. Now it's down for Lopez. Panthers can't quite seem to get a handle on it until finally it's broken out to the neutral zone. Here comes Lopez. Lopez throws it in the middle, a little bit too far for Chris, but it was the right idea. Knocked down by Lopez. He wins the battle to get that puck on his stick and disrupt the Panthers' rush. 10:16 remaining in the second period. Shots favoring the Panthers 8-7, but the scoreboard favors the South Florida Golden Wolves 2-1. Almost ties the game there. That goal would have looked kind of like the first one with a longer shot down to a lower corner. Both Golden Wolves goals were top corner rips, first by Jimmy George, second by Jack Conley. Oh, the D pinched, and the puck popped out back to the blue line. Here comes Kaiser Sayed. Does not clear the zone, though. No, or that's Nate Kerr. No excuse for that, to get the puck on your stick, on your forehand, in your own end, and not put enough on it to clear the zone when you've got a clear path. So the Golden Wolves stay in their end, as we've talked about. This one finally gets out, and it's onto the stick of 66 Lopez. Lopez tries to go low. Kerr for the rebound. Great scoring chance there on a breakaway by Lopez. Oh, touch pass into the middle. When that doesn't connect, it's a turnover at the wrong spot. Conley hits Sayed. Now it's back to Conley. Conley tries to go upstairs, but he shoots it over the net. He got one earlier up top, and you can see he was thinking the same thing there. Unfortunately, there's no rebounds when you miss those. Into the neutral zone, Conley in pursuit. He overskates the play, and now it's back to Golden Wolves tip it to Conley. Conley fighting with his body, gets it on his stick. He gets that one down to Kaiser. Kaiser fans on the shot, but he had Sayed down low. Almost wonder if there was an injury. It's a little out of sorts on the left side here. Sayed comes off, and it's Kirk coming back out. This line's back instead. Conley gets rocked. Looks like it's Yukman Kook in there that gave him a little body. Face-off comes to the left or right of the goalie. Conley taking the draw. And it is thrown toward the net. Cleared by the Panthers. Kurt chips it into the middle. And they escape Kaiser. This one's kept in somehow at the left point by Peyton Nyland. This is now thrown down to the end wall. Conley in pursuit. And this throws over in the slot to Conley. He gets a good shot off. Steered aside by the Panthers goaltender. Kaiser, Conley, and Kerr doing a good job of keeping the puck in. Overskated. The puck got stuck in that trough by the wall. Now they throw it back down to Conley. Conley pulls it out front. Oh, and it's just under the stick of Sayed. Sayed's out for Kerr again. Down to Conley. He can't get it out of that trough. Or no, Sayed's out for Kaiser. Or Kerr. I can't tell who's who over there. Kerr and Kaiser are both small. No, that's Kaiser. Sayed's out for Kerr. I wonder what's going on with Kerr. Here comes Wainman. I don't know. I didn't see any. Maybe he called 2 penalties. So I'm not sure. It looks like coincidental minors may have been called. They're skating 5-on-5. 6:29 remaining in the game, in the second period here. Midpoint of the second period. South Florida Golden Wolves still lead 2-1. They get on the boards to Wainman. Wainman gets stuck in that trough, as we've talked about. That puck goes down in the little lip right along the boards, and it's easy to skate over. Oh, almost kept it at the blue line by Johan. Panther shot steered aside. He had Wainman on the near side for a breakout, but chooses to go behind D to D. Now they chip it up, trying to get it around the defense, but it's kept in by the Panthers before it goes over the glass and onto the bench.
They'll push them out, and then the five goes back out.
What are you going to tell you? George, the goal scorer, in pursuit. He forces a turnover to Lopez. What'd Lopez do? Did Lopez... Well, that hit the netting. That hit the netting. Did Lopez hit the crossbar? Did that hit the crossbar or just... Yeah, that's what it looked like. Lopez hits the crossbar. It goes to the netting because the netting was ringing. It's still wobbling, but there was no whistle. Beautiful scoring chance there. Beautiful scoring chance. George's forecheck forces a turnover. Here's George. Gets it onto his backhand. Goes behind the net. And it's going to be Lopez that gets there first. Lopez to the slot. It's down in front. Knocked down by Renner. Or Chris. That was a real exciting play. Okay, we have Conley. Kerr is back. And Kaiser. They got a little out of sorts momentarily. .450 remaining. Second period, even strength. Shots are now favoring Golden Wolves 13-8. For a team that started out down 4-0, they've turned the tide and have outshot them 13-4 since then. Conley tries to nutmeg on the faceoff. Didn't quite get through there, and it's going the other way for the Panthers. They get hung up at the blue line and skate offside. They get it in the middle to Conley. Conley fighting with his body. Couldn't quite get his stick to the puck, so he tried to play the man. Now they get it chipped along the boards to Conley, and he fights through. A little bit too far for himself, and he couldn't get the pass over to Great Nate. Cleared by the Panthers to neutral zone. But a lot of pushing and shoving here in the neutral zone with some what I will call perpetual scrum on this shift. Puck rings the boards to Kaiser. Kaiser uses his body to seal off the man. Tries to leave it there for Renner, but it does pop out to neutral. They get it to Conley. He tries to get it on his stick and fight through. Here comes Renner. Renner fighting to his backhand. Oh, and it chips up over the goalie. The goalie ramped it up his stick and it chipped up top. Kept it at the point by Johan. No, kept at the point by Smith. 16 Smith. Oh, breakout opportunity. They get it up to Kaiser. Kaiser cuts to the middle, and he does not connect on the pass to Sayed. So he tried to work across the neutral zone. I think this is probably... 4 is probably Hussein. I'm not sure. This one chips link to the ice. They wave off icing. It's down in the corner by us. And it's Sayed in pursuit trying to force the turnover, which he does. Comes out behind the net, leaves it for 37 Wainman. Wainman tries to bank it in off the goalie. This is 4 coming in wide. He's got a big shot if that's Hussein. Hussein was the goal scorer against the Blackhawks. Quick release. Very strong with a lot of accuracy. He's kind of got it all when it comes to that big wrist shot. Toby Herlong went down to his knees in a butterfly, and the shot rainbowed over him from the point. 2-2's the score. This one comes against Wainman, Johan, and probably Sayed. They switch up. It's Renner and Nyland. They're going big with the defense. Christ, Lopez, and George come out as forwards. 2-2 the score, second period. 2:29 remains. In 7 seconds, it'll be all 2s on the board. And we'll commemorate that moment by counting it down. 2, 1, 0. All 2s on the board, folks. 2-2-2. 2-2 second period, 2:22. Big save by Herlong. The Golden Wolves managed to get it to the blue line, but not out. Kept in by the Panthers. A couple guys fanning on it both ways, and the puck just sits there. Comes the backhand. Out come the Golden Wolves. This is Christ up to Lopez. Lopez tries to get over to his forehand. We switch it up, and it's Carr in pursuit. Panthers trying to take advantage of the line change, and they do. They take advantage of the line change. The Golden Wolves switch their defense, and before Jack Carr could get out, it sprung a breakaway. Toby was in pretty good position, but he must have squeezed it into a pretty narrow area. The Panthers have scored their 3rd goal on 11 shots, take the lead 3-2. A lot of long faces out there. You can see the dejected look on the Golden Wolves. They now trail 3-2. 1:44 remains. And each line has been on the ice to give up 1 of the 3 goals, although that one seems to be a culprit with Poorly timed decision for a line change. Four to 2, 3 goals in a minute, and now the Golden Wolves trail 4 to 2 as the Panthers have scored 3 goals in a minute. Odd decision to leave the line out. They're standing around so dejected, they look like they're demoralized and didn't seem to have anything going there other than flat-footedness as the Panthers managed to force a puck down to the net that got past Toby Herlong. Yeah, now they go for the change. Panthers with a 4 to 2 lead. Golden Wolves had the lead earlier, 2 to 1. It was their only lead of the year. But the Panthers have come up and taken a 4 to 2 lead. Here comes Smith. Smith rushing from defense, but the shot ramped up over the goal when it deflected off the defender's stick. Here comes Lopez fighting with George. George gets it on the trough, but he can't pull it out of that. We've talked about that all game. It's just so difficult when the puck falls to an inch below the ice surface. Here comes Chris back to the point. He hits Smith. Smith rings it in deep, and it's Lopez that's going to get there first. Fighting with one of the Panthers. Leaves it for George. Thrown out front for Chris, and it's covered up by the Panthers. They switch up the rotation here. It's Conley, Kerr, and Kaiser back out. 40.6 seconds remaining in the second period. A late period goal here would really change the complexion as the Golden Wolves are down 2. Cutting in half would be nice. Conley along the wall, throws it back to the point, but it's intercepted by one of the Panthers. He tries a short breakout pass, and they're into the neutral zone. They get hung up at the blue line. They're offside. 27.4 seconds now remain.
What's up?
27 seconds left in the second period. A lot of pursuit there by the Golden Wolves. This is Renner. Renner goes D to D. 10 seconds remaining in the period. They're not going to be able to get out and get a scoring chance, it doesn't look like. Question is, will the Panthers? 4 seconds left. Oh, jeez. That's period. 4-2 the score, end of 2. Shots on goal. 13 for the Panthers. 14 for the Golden Wolves, but they trail where it counts. We're down to the other end for period 3. See if the South Florida Golden Wolves can come back and get a win or a tie here. And we're in the other corner. I'm going to try something for good luck here and try the far side here. Although the problem was the second period. This team lost 4-0 yesterday to the Florida Everblades. And in that 4-0 loss, all 4 goals came in period 2. Today, period 2 was also a debacle with 3 goals in a minute. Coach Wayne Whitmore comes back out with Conley, Kerr left side, Kaiser right side. This team only has 3 goals this season, Conley with 2 of them, George with the other, so looking to get some additional scoring as soon as they can. In a game like this, it's much needed. Puck gets stuck in that trough. It is 14-minute period, so there's plenty of time left. Kaiser rings the boards, trying to throw it to the teammate. Panthers break out through Conley's skate and can't quite make it out of their zone. First try, second time's charm. They fake out Kaiser in the neutral zone, but he back checks strong and manages to break up the play. It's onto the stick of Smith. Smith trying to find a passing outlet, but he's too pressured to see any teammates. There's a quick whistle the other way. One of the turning points in this game, we mentioned it earlier, I think with about 4 minutes to go in that first period, there was a puck shot by, I think it was Renner. Save. He came in, whistle blew, but the puck had not been covered, and he tipped it right through the goalie's legs. And no goal because of the whistle, but it was a premature whistle, and I think that will bear out when we look at the replay. So, nonetheless, no credit for the goal. Golden Wolves trailing 4-2 after giving up 3 goals in about a minute. Here comes Lopez. Lopez manages to evade one Panther, skates into another one, and they both get hit hard by each other. So penalty on somebody for head contact, which is going to be 2-minute minor and a 10-minute misconduct. 2 and 10. He's a tall player. That's one of the disadvantages. You get the 2 minutes plus a 10-minute misconduct for head contact. So they need someone to serve. They choose number 12 to serve the 2-minute minor. But that really means number 4 is probably out for the balance of, he'll come back with 29 seconds left in the game. After the minor, he'll start a 10-minute misconduct, at which point he's eligible to come back to the game. It could be just 29 seconds left. If the Golden Wolves score and end that minor a little sooner, then maybe it'll be a little bit more than that. But nonetheless, he's out for almost the remainder of the game with the head contact penalty. I think number 4 has been one of their better players this game. Don't know if that's Hussein or Tallene, but George skating through the neutral zone on the power play. Takes it in, leaves it for Chris. Chris fights along the wall, and they're trying to just brute force it through a bunch of Panthers who managed to get it on their stick but are under pressure. This is left for Lopez. Lopez, he pulls the puck out, and he's got a lot of time. Panthers are playing a very tight box, content to let the Golden Wolves operate out on the perimeter. They should be able to work for a decent shot. There it is right there. Jimmy George tips just wide on the wrist shot from, it looks like Jack Carr. Carr's out there with Renner. Carr left side, Renner right side. Both are right shots. Good bruising hit there, and Lopez is trying to find his legs to get back up as he's obviously jarred by the blow. He's feeling better now that he's got the puck though, and he comes in, works to his forehand, tries to come across. Here he goes with the shot. Big rebound, and it's a goal by Bobby Christ. Bobby Christ on a rebound of a Lopez shot. Jimmy George may have touched it in there. First power play goal of the year for the South Florida Golden Wolves. They now trail 3-4. Shots are even at 16 And as we mentioned, it's been a very tightly played game, as there was 1 goal disallowed. So anything can happen, folks. It's a whole new ball game. We'll see if that gives a little bit more of a zip in their step. Certainly giving up 3 goals in a minute was demoralizing. Golden Wolves out to neutral zone, trying to get it to Wainman, but he played them, he started marking his man rather than playing where the puck was going, and Panthers managed to get a little bit of room to break into the Golden Wolves zone. Scrum along the wall, puck pops out, and it's possessed by no one yet, until it finally gets to Smith, who rings the board, and he hits Sayed. Sayed throws it up to the blue line, where it pops out back on the stick of Sayed, who tries to get it up to Johan. They're working against Wainman. Johan tries to throw the check, but he goes down himself, and it's now back behind the goal to a late rising Johan. Johan fights off that check. It's funny, I put a puck up on the glass and it just fell. I thought the puck somehow came through the boards. It was actually the second puck that I put on the wall. Shot from the point into the breadbasket of one of the defenders. Smith with a wrister that came in arcing, and you never know. One of those could take a bounce and go in. Great play by Smith to keep the puck in. Keeps it in again. Down to Sayed. He gets it over to Wainman. Wainman leaves it for Johan. Johan tries to hit Sayed. Just a little bit behind him, and out come the Panthers. We got plenty of time left. 9:48 remains. Conley cheating up big time here. They get the puck to Kaiser. He's got Conley in the middle. He goes to the net. Kaiser trying to get a shot off. Couldn't quite get through. He's just not able to get it over to his forehand. They get this puck out to Conley, who breaks out, and he clears it to neutral. Now he's in pursuit against one of their defenders. The defender tries a cross-ice pass, and he gets it intercepted by Renner. Renner takes it in. He tries to dump it, but he fans on it, leaves it for Kaiser. Stuck at the blue line, it pops out to Kaiser. Now it's back to Jack Carr. Carr to Renner. They get it to Conley. Conley avoids the hit and gets the puck up to Kaiser. Kaiser back to Conley. He cuts through to his forehand, trying to get it on his stick, but he's got 3 red jerseys to navigate, and they manage to push him off the puck. Just not quite strong enough to get through. Big shot, big save. We get a whistle. There's 8:36 remaining. That gives the Golden Wolves another advantage in the shot column, but they do trail 4-3. George, Lopez, and Christ. Christ with the last goal that made this one a closer game. Tripping call on the Panthers. And the Golden Wolves go back on the power play. George, Lopez, and Chris just scored on the power play. Wouldn't it be nice if another one levels this one off at 4? 8:17 remains, and as we mentioned earlier, number 4 for them out for another several minutes. He'll come back with about a minute or a minute and a half left after the misconduct for head contact. I don't know how bad it was, but that's something that certainly unfairly skewed against the taller players. This is rung out to the blue line, and it manages to squeak to neutral. But Lopez picks it up, he gets ahead of steam, and he cuts to the inside. He shoots that one over the glass. Chris, with the presence to pick up the rebound, tries to work back to the defense, and it's kept in at the blue line by Smith. Smith down to Lopez. Lopez trying to wheel and deal. Runs into one of the Panthers defenders, and they clear it the length of the ice. We have Lopez going for a line change, and they bring out Sayed, Johan, and Wainman. Sayed, Johan, and Wainman out on the power play. They're looking for the equalizing goal. Peyton Nyland fights in with his body. Beautiful play. takes it into the corner, and he leaves it for Wainman, but unfortunately kind of left it behind him, and Panthers managed to break out to neutral. This is Wainman. Wainman dangling through the neutral zone, trying to come in and enter the zone. Enters with a pass to Sayed, back to Wainman. Wainman with a whirly-doodle, and he throws the pass off the pads that Johan didn't quite get, or a light shot, whatever you want to call it, but that, you know, POP, pass off the pad, was certainly how that might have turned into a goal. They set up an overload power play on the left side, and it's shot by Renner, cleared by the Panthers defense, and the Golden Wolves forwards go for a line change. There's really not much left in the penalty, just 20 seconds. Kerr, Conley, and Kaiser. Here comes Conley. He chips a wide pass. This is now Kerr. Kerr's got Conley, but he tries to find himself some room, skating wide, buying some time. Conley in the slot, Kaiser trailing in the triangle. Conley picks that up. He's out to Kaiser, but he throws it behind him. Kaiser now keeps it in, but it's onto the stick of the Florida Panthers. Penalty has expired, and we're back to even strength. Conley's hanging out way high there. They get him the puck. He pulls it off his skate, and he hits Kaiser quickly. Kaiser comes in. That's a shot into the pads, covered up by the goaltender. 5:55 remains, 4-3 to score. Third period, shots are now 19-16, favoring the South Florida Golden Wolves. They get a quick line change, keep them fresh. Lopez, George, and Christ. This line has 2 goals today. George with the first, Christ with the third on a power play. George tips it back to Smith. Smith rings it in behind to Lopez. Lopez pulls it out of that trough. We've talked about that depression all game. Lopez finding backhand, wheels to his forehand, throws it back to the point, but with a pinching Smith, Noda had to evacuate. Smart play there, as you really don't want to give up a 3-0 rush by getting both defense pinching around the blue line. They break out the left side, and out comes Chris. Chris hits Lopez, tips through his skates, and goes to the end wall. Lopez and George fighting there. The puck stuck in that trough. Lopez now tries to throw it to Jimmy. 8 red cross-check gives them another power play. I have a feeling we're going to get some fresh legs out here for this. With 5:12 remaining, 4-3 the score, and the South Florida Golden Wolves with a good chance to take advantage of this power play opportunity and tie the game. 4-3 the score, Golden Wolves trail, 5-12. They lead in the shot column 19-16, but trail on the board by 1. It's Conley, Kaiser. Left side is actually Lopez. Lopez on the power play. Looks like he's struggling to catch his breath as he was just out there, but clearly Wayne wants to shift it up a little bit. They throw it back to the point. Bad decision there, right to Renner. Renner hits Kaiser. Kaiser in the middle to Conley. Conley can't quite get on his stick. It's going to be Lopez that gets there first. Lopez throws it to the Panthers, unfortunately. Everybody's got to regroup. Conley, Kaiser, and Renner. No, not Renner. What's his name? It's Renner's a defenseman. It's Lopez. They get the puck to Kaiser. Kaiser to Conley. He manages to fight in through the middle. Gets a backhand pass off to Lopez. Lopez throws it to neutral where it kicks out to one of the Panthers, and they throw it the length of the ice. Still 75 seconds remaining in this power play. Plenty of time if they can go gain the zone advantage and set something up. Skates through the middle. It's Renner. Renner throws the puck away, but nobody's there, so it manages to wind up into the neutral zone as the Panthers clear. All right, let's try this again, folks. It's out to the neutral zone where it's picked up by Kaiser. Kaiser gets it over to Johan. Johan trying to get it into Kaiser and Conley. Conley with the goal. Ties the game. Jack Conley, 4-4. Power play goal. Gives the South Florida Golden Wolves a huge equalizer. What great persistence, perseverance over there on the left side. I'm assuming that was Johan and Kaiser that just would not give up. Conley got down low. Oh, this is a bad decision by Coach Wayne Whitmore. He's left Conley and Kaiser out there with Kerr, but they don't have fresh legs. They don't have fresh legs. They were out there, 2 of them, for the power play. They really need to get them off. We're going to question Coach Wayne Whitmore on this in a post-game interview. Not the call I would make when you want to make sure they have fresh legs for one of the last shifts of the game to see if you might be able to eke out a win and don't want to give up all that momentum. Huge scrum. 7 players on the wall, 4 red, 3 yellow. Puck is stuck in the trough and they finally blow the whistle. 8 players, if you count Clint Levins, banging on the glass. They've got to get these kids are coming off, and the coach isn't even sending anyone. They've got to get them off. Kerr doesn't care, but Kaiser and Conley need to get off. They were out there for the power play. Whitmore won't pull them off. They call another penalty, it looks